All right, there we go. Second time's a charm. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we're still in COVID regulations, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's like 6 people in here. And we're all socially distanced, so don't worry, there's at home. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gem City tonight. I am your host, Andrew Mitakides. So we've survived the election season. Of course, depending on who you voted for and who won, it's your definition of surviving. Of course, it's 2020, so who knows what the hell surviving means anymore. Just getting through. Getting through the grocery store and not getting close to someone, that's surviving. Which I don't get. Like, you have to stand 6 feet apart, but if I want to get onions or reach for baked beans, I'm just like, hi, pardon me, no, I'm getting out of your way. But anyway, the funny thing is we're actually filming this before the election. So we don't know this, and it airs after the election. So I don't know who wins. So since we don't, we actually have to two different versions. So here at DATV, since we don't have the ability to splice it that well, I'm just gonna do it the old school way. Okay. 4 more years, 4 more years. Keeping America great. Tanning booths for everybody. Tomorrow in Mar-a-Lago. Huge wall, tiny hands. Okay, that was that one. What's the other one we gotta do? Oh, the other guy. Okay, here we go. Woo! Not your average Joe. A new direction for America. No, I just won't shut up, man. Don't worry, I've got Obama on speed dial. Aviators for everybody. That's it, that's both of them, right? Joey and Donnie. Sounds like an 80s cop film. Joey and Donnie take to the streets. One with the hair, the other with the grit. I don't know. That wasn't in the prompter. That just came out of here, so I don't know. Anyway, that should be covered it for 2040. Not foreseeing that anything crazy should happen, but now that I've said that, there can be a tie. There's a bunch of stuff that could happen to the Constitution. I think once it's a tie, it goes to the Senate, and then
It goes to the Electoral College.
then there's like a revote.
And then 270 people have to vote the majority to win.
The presidency.
So you're a nerd.
It's the 20th Amendment.
Nerd. Good to know. But yes, 2020, it couldn't get any worse, so who knows? We've been dressing like cops and robbers and robbing banks with masks the entire time and standing farther away than a freshman at a high school mixer, so who knows? But yes, all those lawn signs are recycled, they haven't gone to waste, and we can stop texting and sharing and retweeting and TikToking and boomeranging and grindering and Tindering and fondling and pontificating about who's gonna be the next president. Did I say grindering?
You did. Bumbling.
Bumbling, pretty much. That's going to be our
Facebook
desk
dating
piece.
app.
But don't worry, you still get. We've decided that we did some research, folks at home. Don't worry. You're still going to get calls about your car's warranty and your student loans. Don't worry. Do you get calls about that at all?
I do.
I have no student loans.
Well, I have student loans, so mine are probably legit. They
I
say it
actually
can
keep
be
them on the phone. I had a
forgiven.
woman the other day call me from, she's like, I'm Catherine. Catherine, how are you? I'm calling about your student loans. That's fantastic. Paid mine off and I had a scholarship. What are you doing today, Catherine? Oh, then I wish to take her off your list. No, Catherine, you called me. What are you wearing? What are you doing? Catherine, you must have cats. T, K, what's your name? You sipping tea, Earl Grey? I know what you're doing. Wouldn't let her off the phone for 5 minutes.
Probably
And I was like, give me your, call me back, Karen. Hung up on me mid-sentence. I was like, don't call me again, Karen. Oh, no, it's Catherine.
Catherine. I was like,
called
Catherine or Karen?
Well,
What are we-
we did the Karen mask for
Yes.
the last episode. It's haunting me, literally.
Karen would be the you.
See, you're
complaining.
putting it back up again. Anyway, but now the election is over. We need to find a new outlet for our outrage or our passion or our anger or our happiness and make our voices heard and take a stand. And if you really want to, don't worry. Holidays are right around the corner. Yes, the home stretch of 2020 is going to be indifferent, and I'm anxious. I'm kind of interested to see how the series finale of 2020 is going to play out. Will they all get off the island? Are they going to be shot in a diner in Jersey? Well, I don't know. Are they taking the last cop helicopter out of 4077? Or better yet, who's going to get the final rose? I made like 4 movie or TV references. Did anybody get them?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm swinging for the fence on that one. I was like, but yes. Now, if we weren't faced with big questions like every year this time of season, like, whose house are we eating at? How many presents did we get each other? Who the hell is going to take Uncle Jeff home after having like 9 7 and 7s? The big questions. The biggest question of the season is, and I actually heard a kid asked the mom this question. Did Santa Claus get COVID? Yeah, in a store. The worst part about it is the mom froze. I don't have kids. I whispered in her ear, say no. And she's like, oh, no.
Sometimes you forget. You forget that your kids believe in Santa.
You still do?
I still believe in Santa, or?
Yeah.
I have to. I got 2 kids.
See, I wasn't wrong. But yeah, how do you freeze on that? It's like, this just in. Does Santa have COVID? Are all the reindeer gone down? Details at 11. No, you tell your kid no. Anyway. But we all want to put 2020 behind us. It hasn't been the most stellar year. Has anyone had a decent 2020 in here?
Not in the slightest.
No? No? Jim, you got a new book out, but no? No? Exactly. We actually Googled the worst years in history from top 10 historians. It ranks up there with some of these other great hits. The Back in Black Monday of 1929. And their hit isn't a sure stockbroker hitting the pavement. I liked that one. Or the 1937, the Hindenburgs blew off the top of the charts with Great Balls of Fire, which is a Jerry Lee Lewis song. I just wanted to do it. And see, we didn't take this joke out. I'm not going to do it.
I know. Please do it.
Really?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm not Catholic, so do it for me.
Are we allowed to laugh on set?
Oh,
please.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that part. They said quiet on set.
Oh, no. Hell, laugh all you want.
Oh, you're killing it.
Okay, go back. I'm going to do the joke. Keep going back. No, other way. Backwards. Yeah, I'm doing the joke. And finally, who can forget that faithful year, 33 AD, when Jesus rose to the top of the church with his hits hanging around.
See, it's great.
And it was 6 hours long.
At least it wasn't
That was
for
getting
you.
deep into religion. Anyway, also technically the first outdoor concert.
Yes.
Just, he even brought water to wine. Anyway, I don't know why people don't get Jesus more. He had 12 friends, he never showered, turned water to wine. Are you kidding me? This guy partied all the time. The point being that this year has sucked, and we're not going to get any sadder by seeing the backside of it right off into the sunset, which is fine. But as we wrap up and get to the rest of our show, let's finish on something that we all love about a good old happy ending. Yes, I'm talking about sex. Now, COVID has been fine. That's fine, laugh all you want. But unless you're a sex worker, COVID has not been your friend. Yes, sex workers, prostitutes, ladies of the night, American gigolos, Richard Gere, if you're watching, come on the show. All of these people have been fearing for their jobs because clearly the legality of being a sex worker isn't worrisome enough. You have everything you have to, avoid. The clap, the cops. I can't think of another C word. Chlamydia. But many sex workers have actually been quite efficient in the COVID year. They have taken to turn to technology. So things like Only Me and other websites, which I can't mention here.
Only me.
Or is it only? It's OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
It's OnlyFans, Only Me, and there's another Only.
Oh, I only know
But
one of
anyway,
them.
the problem is they've run into a roadblock. That most of their certain clients of a certain demographic are of a certain age. So they can't work the smartphones, their tablets, or their computers.
That's when you just get a sugar daddy.
So even COVID can be a tech cock block. We got a great show for you. Go ahead and clap. I got to do some desk stuff. I got to do some crap over here. Oh, good. See? Did you have money on 3?
No, I had money on 1.
See, I had money on 6.
Which one's not glued?
I don't know. One has Gorilla Glue in it. There we go.
I was thinking that was 6.
See, this is the beauty of, this isn't even live television. This is just television. There we go. Hey, we're back. Hey neighbor, welcome back. I really want to talk about
Oh my God.
being in the neighborhood. Whatever. Anyway, all right. I officially have one shoe on for this episode. All right. So, speaking of the holidays, what are you doing?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me
I
this.
ask everybody.
I'm going to fall for all those Tinder bios you're about to read.
I've read some of these.
Yeah, well, got nothing else going on.
Some of these come with a medic alert bracelet and a rag full of chloroform.
No. I did already finish Christmas shopping for my kids, though.
Really? Mm-hmm. Good for you.
I know.
Rob, what are you doing for the holidays? I have no idea. Nothing? All right, that's I got nothing. Tim? None? Erica?
Nothing.
No one wants to plan this far in advance in 2020.
No one could plan this far in advance.
Plans just don't go through anymore.
It doesn't happen. So, for those of you who are single on the mingle, not looking for ladies of the night, we're talking about who you're gonna kiss in the new year and so forth, and it's one of the things people worry about. I was interested because at one point, I've been on a dating app at one point. Okay, I'm the only person to put my hand up.
I just said both.
My thoughts exactly. I only have one shoe on. This is already off the rails. I love this.
What up? So what's the point of a dating app, though?
What's the point of a dating
Yeah,
app?
in 5
Look, there we
seconds,
go.
you're supposed to
I'm gonna
fall
do
in love
that.
with somebody.
Here, pan down, there we go. I don't know. In a day and age, back before COVID hit, I assume it was, the bar scene wasn't working. There was co-workers.
Yeah, but you swipe left, you swipe right. Based off of a photo? A name? 500
Yeah.
characters or less?
Profile. But see, we found some of the worst profiles humanly
know.
possible.
They're good.
So these are our, we got a couple here, more than 10. Worst dating app bios.
You should read from the bottom up.
Read from the bottom up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm a single attractive man looking for a woman to cook me supper. I ain't got time for no games because I work and only have time for hanky-panky. Okay? Question mark. The woman I choose must be fiscally fit too, spelled T-W-O, because I pretty much
Good luck. And that's how they were.
because I am pretty much Clydesdale's okay. Like the horse.
Yes.
Okay.
You should have seen the picture of this
I
guy.
don't want kids, so don't be asking me to take you a baby, Karen. Karen. It's a Karen. I am not, yeah. Macaroni and cheese is my fave, but not Kraft. Nobody eats that. Thanks. I have a LeBaron and all the Hall and Oates make good music. I'm done.
winner.
I can go to commercial on that.
That's what I'm doing for my holidays. I'm making
I
mac
am-
and cheese and listen to Hall & Oates.
You
That's
just
right there. That won me
just
over.
Swipe that into prison. Number 2, I will not talk to you if you have OnlyFans. All in caps, by the way. Do not message me if you aren't loyal, honest, or if you are talking to other people. I want exclusivity! 3 exclamation points. That's. I'm looking at Tim the Red. Doesn't matter. 1's good. We don't need 3. You must also be self-sufficient, but want me to take care of you. Don't cuss. Wear modest clothing. All in caps. Hashtag Trump 2020.
Oh my God.
Let's eat ethnic foods and drink green organic juices together. And I'm going to try to do these all in one breath. Like leaf, peace sign, crown, frog, leaf, mushroom, shell, mushroom, Saturn tide, salad, yoga, music, crystal ball emoji, laugh, haha, hashtag you're welcome.
Now those are all emojis, though. Like it didn't say those words. So it'd
I
be
was
like,
reading the emojis.
peace
That's the
sign.
whitest thing I've ever done.
You can't.
www.whatthehell.com. Okay, next one. all caps, please have a brain. That's it? Please have a brain.
Frankenstein had a brain.
Okay. Next one. Are you are you tired of men with commitment issues, bad hygiene, freeloaders, convicts, players, druggies, mama boys, alcoholics, cheaters, abusers, liars, men hung up on their ex, emotionally unstable, and guys only wanting one-night stands? Then I'm your guy.
He goes.
I see what he did there. I see what you did. You took us to the top of the mountaintop and then just pushed yourself off.
He ghosts 2 days later.
Let's talk. Diamond emoji.
Oh, you got it.
Jane of... Thank you. Jane of all trades. Kissy face emoji. What good? Okay sign emoji. Can eat you. Cake emoji.
Wait, is this all one person?
Yeah.
What good? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Is the cake good?
Next one. Hi. Thanks for stopping by. I won't smell you.
Maybe it's COVID.
Looking for that friendly, nerdy, and all-around dad material? You've come to the right place. Aisle 5. I'll thump your melons.
Wait, am I looking for a dad or a date?
And last two. Just an ordinary man making his way into the outer world. Spaceship built, need companion, pack accordingly.
That's kind of like that guy that was looking for to go to Mars or wherever.
Yeah. And the last one, nothing beats this one-liner. I won't rape and kill you. But I will buy dinner.
Hey,
Message me.
No kink shame.
Did these work?
Maybe.
Let's eat ethnic foods. I'm still with the guy who wants a Clydesdale.
I don't
That's like
think
the Budweiser horse.
He doesn't want a Clydesdale. He was saying he is a Clydesdale. Like he's a stallion, but instead he compared himself to a Clydesdale.
And the less common Clydales.
Yeah, he was like, no. He was like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That's what he looked like in his profile picture.
You went cruising to these guys?
No, I Googled worst.
We're going to swipe left on this commercial break. And we'll be right back with more Gem City tonight. I'm going to put my shoe back on. I wasn't kidding. Okay? Oh, I got a whole group. Is that on camera? We got that on camera?
It wasn't always like this. My friends were slowly going away. They found other people. And the world was slowly revolving around me. With my classes becoming harder and harder, and the constant stress of applying to college, it seemed like suicide was the answer to all of this. It was so easy to do, right there and then. I could have done it, but someone reached out to me. This person actually cared for me, talked to me, and understood me. Suicide is never the answer. Know the signs, find the words, and reach out.
All right, welcome back to Gem City tonight. My first guest tonight is on the forefront of something we've all wanted to know more about and talking about. That's why I brought him on the show. So please put your hands together for Rob McClure, owner of Your CBD Store. Sir, welcome. Air 5.
High five.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We were talking the other day about, because my mom started using CBD hand cream, she has arthritis and some other stuff, and I'm like, I don't understand, and I see people lined up, and I hear the stores are popping up, because you're about to open your fifth location.
Third location. Would have been fifth.
And I was just like, I know nothing about this. So I reached out, and one of your employees
Yes.
brought you up, and I was like, let's do it. So thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So CBD 101 for viewers. Oh, and me.
Okay. So the big misconception a lot of people have when it comes to CBD is they
What does it stand for, by the way?
cannabinol.
Got it.
Okay. Say that 3 times fast.
No.
Okay.
Cannabinol,
So-
cannabinol. I do?
You did it.
So the big misconception is a lot of people don't understand what the difference between hemp and marijuana, cannabis, what the relation is. So one of the most important things our company does is, and it's the reason I chose this particular company to go with, was their business model of educating people when they come through the door. And the reason for that is there's so much misunderstanding out there about it that, you know, most of the time people are just throwing caution to the wind. They're just buying anything out there and just trying it. And it's just not the right way to do it. So
What's the biggest common misconception you find or run into?
a lot of people still walk through the store like this. They think they're walking into a dispensary, or they think they're walking in and they're going to be.
So I can take the hat and sunglasses back.
That's
Remind me to do that. Okay, good. I look like
And
a
the fake
Unabomber.
mustache.
So one of the first things we do is we make sure we make that distinction. We explain that cannabis is a category of plant with 2 species. It has hemp and marijuana. Now, I mean, there's a lot more to it than just that, but the
Right.
basics of it, they're molecularly 2 different plants, and they come from the same plant category. And no different than if I were making the analogy of cannabis being a fruit tree, hemp's an apple tree, marijuana's an orange tree.
Okay.
They're in the same category, but they're molecularly different. Everybody knows marijuana has the high levels of THC, which causes all the psychotropic effects, and hemp has the high levels of CBD, which has no psychotropic effects. So once people understand that, they tend to be put a little more at ease, and then we go into exactly, you know, how CBD works, and we educate them on the basics of that in itself.
How did you get involved in it?
So, long story short, a couple buddies of mine, we've talked about CBD over the years, just out of pure intrigue. I was sitting in my grandmother's living room, and she had dementia, and she, you know, I was just reading a magazine, and I read about an article on it, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. And so, fast forward several years later, a buddy of mine calls me up and is like, hey, I'm opening up a CBD store. It's like, great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I said, tell me more about it. And he's like, let me get it up and running. You come out, check it out, and you tell me what you think. But he says, I think you're really going to want to get involved with this. And I was like, okay, because he knew my interest in it from the get-go.
Right.
So, sure enough, a few months later, I went out, checked out his store out in Pennsylvania, Cranberry, Pennsylvania. And, you know, you can read all the articles you want. You can do all the research you want. You can read all the testimonials, but nothing will impact you more than sitting there and listening to real live people talk about how it's impacted their life, changed their life, and how well it worked for them.
Right.
That was it. That was the final straw. And here we are today.
Nice. So you have 3 locations.
Two
Opening a
getting
third.
ready to open up
I've
the
got to
third
get
one.
this right. 2 going in 3. So where are the 2 other 2 currently?
So our first location is in Centerville, where you're from, right?
Go Elks.
Yeah, go Elks.
Grammatically incorrect since 1950, whatever.
So, but no, Centerville is we have a store down in Centerville at 5820 Wilmington Pike, which is right across from Moore's Furniture. I'm sure you're aware where that's at. Our other store is up in Troy, Ohio, right on Main Street, about a quarter mile off of 75 there, right across from the Walmart, AutoZone. And we're getting ready to open up our third location in Mason Deerfield Township here probably in mid-November. We just signed the lease recently, and it was actually supposed to be our first store, but about a year and a half ago, when we were getting ready to go through the process of opening it, the city kind of threw together an emergency moratorium. They wanted to work out the details of their laws in regards to what they were going to require, allow, and so that was over a year process, and it finally got wrapped up, and so now it's going to be our third store.
Gotcha. I was going to ask about the community's reaction to it, but we're going to go to commercial real quick when we come back. You brought goodies.
Yes, I did.
All right then, we'll be right back with more Gem City tonight. I don't know it.
On August 11th, my brother Max wrote these words and hanged himself. He was only 15, and he had his whole life ahead of him, but he was tormented and bullied until, hopeless and alone, he took his own life.
Though Max's pain is gone, the pain of his family will last a lifetime. Don't let this tragedy repeat itself. If you or someone you know is speaking or thinking about suicide, talk to an adult.
What wouldn't you do to stop it?
All right, welcome back. That was a lot of camera changes. Welcome back to Gem City Tonight. I'm talking with Rob McClure of Your CBD Store. So before we went to commercial, you talked about how the city kind of put together a thing. How is the reaction to your stores?
You know, in most locations, we've gotten really good reception. Most people understand that it's differentiated from marijuana, and they know we're not a dispensary. So we've had pretty good feedback from most people. But every now and then you do run into, some of these cities and townships that, they're unsure. Really, they just don't know.
Right.
So they really want to be comfortable about.
Are you finding that they're just uneducated about it?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. They're uneducated about it, and what they're trying to avoid is a lot of these towns, they want to keep head shops from coming in. They want to keep dispensaries from coming in. It's even in some of their provisions in their laws and whatnot. And so getting past that has been a little bit of a hurdle, but once they realize and understand that, what we're doing, we're the largest dedicated CBD retailer in the world right now with over 700 stores, Sunflora, SunMed brand. They, once they realize we're putting together a first-class establishment and they see exactly what it looks like, then they're completely okay with it.
Nice. I was gonna say, I've only heard good things. Like I said, when I found my mom, I was like, look, and I was in that foggy category of us, like, because my mom was like, look, I got CBD oil for my hands. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Mom? I was like, you put Jimi Hendrix on? What the hell is happening right now? But I didn't know. I've never done marijuana. I had no idea. Just one of those things. Like, I've never done.
You just said they were different.
Yeah, but I'm like, my brain went to.
That's where everybody's brains go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I was like, what? And then like everyone's like, it's like hemp, and I'm like, that's like rope. And of course, I'm of the age, it's like the necklaces with the stone in it. I'm like, what the hell is
Just
that?
a different strain, yes.
I was like, what the hell? So okay, so yes, so I was educated on it, but for a while, because my mom decided to do the gummies.
Sure.
Yeah, so I walk in, and my 70-year-old mother has a glass of Dewar's and water and gummies on the table, and I'm like, what opium den did I just walk the hell into? Like, good God. And she's like, you want a gummy? I'm like, I'm good. But so anyway, but you have brought, speaking of goodies, you
I
brought
did.
some stuff. So what do we have?
I did. And to really go into and explain exactly everything we have here, the best thing I could tell anybody who's really wanting to learn more about CBD just in general, stop by one of our stores. We have brick and mortar locations, and all of our staff is completely trained, and they can answer all your questions. We work directly and indirectly with a whole team of doctors. So come into the store, we can go into a lot more detail. We always want to make sure people understand the basics of it so they know not just what they're taking, but how to take it, when to take it, and how much to take. All very, very important things. So,
Dogs like CBD.
yes, they do. Dogs have the same endocannabinoid system that we have.
I'm
which
sorry,
is-
did you just sneeze?
I did.
Okay.
Endocannabinoid system. And that's exactly what CBD is influencing in our bodies to regulate inflammation and among other things.
Oh,
And
there
like
it
I
is.
said, we could sit here for the next half hour and talk about it, but if you really want to learn about it, you stop by one
That's
of our
a
stores.
lot of letters.
It is. Well, I got to tell you,
I feel like I need to buy a vowel.
before I got into this business, I have OCD, and ADHD, and when I started taking my CBD, now I only have
Who are you? Where am I?
OCD
What's happening?
and
Keys?
ADD, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
You've
what
lost letters.
Right, exactly. So, anyway, what we have here is probably our most popular product is a daily regimen. It's one of our oils. All of our products are certified, USDA certified, organic, okay? That's our top daily regimen. We have our water solubles, which are a little bit different than a sublingual, which is basically you ingest them all. But we have our creams. We also have supplements to daily regimens like our CBD and our CBN, which is for more extreme anti-inflammatory neurological inflammation. And if you're looking for a good night's sleep, that's CBN right there. You take a half a drop of that an hour before bed, and you'll
This?
sleep like a baby. Yeah. So. And again, when you stop in the stores, our associates can walk you through exactly what each and everything is and basically tailor a regimen for each individual's, because everybody's different,
Do you because I'd assume in some ways like vitamins, you've got to take a multivitamin, you have to take an omega-3, you've got to take this.
Sure.
Can you be like, hey, take this one and then take this one?
Yes, absolutely. So in general, when people walk in the store and they see all these different bottles, they're pretty overwhelmed. But the reality of it is, most of them do all the same thing. It's all really just personal preference on how someone wants to utilize it, and it also depends on what they're trying to target in general as well, so.
All right, then. So which ones do you use?
I do use the 1,000 milligram tincture just as a daily regimen.
Do you put it in coffee, put it on your tongue?
No, these ones are
up your ass?
sublingual.
I don't know how this works.
Well, you can do whatever you want, really, quite honestly. It's very versatile.
That's fantastic.
However you can get it to absorb into your system. But this is a sublingual, so you put it under your tongue for about 30 to 60 seconds, swallow it, takes effect in about an hour or so, then it lasts for 8 to 12 hours. So people that use that as a daily regimen will typically, if they're using it properly, will take
I was
it
going to say,
after breakfast.
this isn't one of those
after
one
dinner.
glass of wine is good and
No,
four is
no.
better.
So another misconception with CBD is that it's like an ibuprofen where you can just take it, get 4 to 6 hours relief, and be done with you.
Right.
That is not how it works. You know, CBD works from a scientific standpoint of influencing your body to heal itself.
Gotcha.
That's the basics of it.
Okay. And then the cream, because like I said, my mom's was for arthritis.
Yep, the creams are great. So we always recommend somebody gets on a daily regimen because that's really your bread and butter. When you're taking care of your endocannabinoid system from a systemic level, that's where you're going to get the most relief. Okay?
Gotcha.
And then the creams, those are for targeted, isolated relief.
I just like saying cream. Cream.
Just don't say cream with the Y on the end.
Is it moist? Oh, I said it on
Jesus.
air. Oh, I said it on
You can
air.
have a moist cake with creamy icing.
I will empty this before I throw it at you. But that's beside the point. So, all right. So, how do we find you? Are you on all the
One of
Grams
the
and
best
Twitters
ways
and pages?
we are, but one of the best ways you can find us is just look up your CBD store, Centerville. You go to our Google page and it has all of our links, our website. If you use promotion 505OH, you get 10% off anything you order online. And anyone who actually mentions the Andrew Mitakides Gem City Tonight show between now and the end of the year, you're going to get 10% off anything in the store.
Hey.
Nice.
All right. And we'll put that information on our website and blast it out as well. Rob, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
Air
you.
five.
Air high five.
Boom.
Gotcha.
All right. I'm going to take all of this home and we'll be right back with more Gem City Tonight. Over here now. Did they? They kind of stayed up.
Oh.
Dad?
Gabe?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
You're all right.
Sorry.
All right. Welcome back to Gem City Tonight. This has been educational. We're going to stick with that theme. I kind of like it. Something right up your alley. It's
It
gonna
is
be
right up my alley.
This is right up your alley. Try your waitress, tip the veal. I'm here all week. All right, my next guest, who's been on the show before. His books actually adorn my desk every episode now since we've had him. Put your hands together for Tim Waggoner. Sir?
Just this.
I did Air 5? Anyway, there we go. That's what we did the last one. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. How you been so far? How you been surviving 2020?
A lot of Zoom meetings,
Yeah.
whether it's a class or like writers' conferences, they're doing that now, or just everything's by Zoom.
So I'm sure before it was it's riveting on Zoom. I'm sure it was a riveting good time in person. You guys really let loose at writing conferences?
Oh, you know it. You know it. Get a bunch of horror writers together.
It's just cocktail napkins or just like, it's like golf pros. We just design golf courses on the back of napkins. We're just like,
That's exactly what we do.
look, this has got water on it. Oh, that's just the same.
No, we do torture chambers and stuff like that.
I think we had one guest who we were doing the Zoom stuff through when we were all like
Quarantine.
in lockdown quarantine. Thank you. And he was a characterist, like they do it like Kings Island or whatever. He's like, yeah, we go to character conventions all the time. And I'm like, what the shit do you people talk about? I mean, I can understand technique and speed and stuff, but like, do you guys draw each other? Like, do you have cocktails, like shots? Are you hitting the strip joints? Like, keep dancing, keep dancing.
Oh my God.
It's a riveting good time. Welcome back. Once again, like I said, you were always on the desk.
That's wonderful.
So, but we brought you back for a specific reason. You've written another book, but you went a little different route.
Yeah, I wrote a book about writing horror. Here,
Hang
take a look
on.
at it. It's called Writing in the Dark. So it's for people that are either like new to writing horror, people been writing horror for a while, or even people that are professionals, just to try to get them to write better horror.
And this is out now?
Yeah.
So what prompted this to this?
I had teaching for a long time, and years ago, I wanted to start a blog, and I didn't know what to do, and one of my editors is like, you teach writing, write about that, people will read it. And so for like 7, 8 years, I've got all these different blog articles about writing, and I just found that I really enjoyed writing about writing. It's kind of a natural outgrowth of being a teacher, because you're always trying to think of what makes writing work, and how do you help people make their writing better. And you know, when I started out writing, my dad brought home Writer's Digest back from Wilkie's, back was in the area.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't even know a magazine like that existed. So I read it from cover to cover, and I was all excited. I was probably 18, and I just kind of fell in love with writing about writing from there too. So
What, do you think I was looking for the photos?
Yeah, actually I did.
there's a couple.
I hate all.
There's a couple. So I heard Ricky's writing a book, or has a book.
Yes.
Yeah, Ricky.
That's what I heard. I just heard it on the street. I don't know where.
Yes, I have an idea.
Yeah, that's
It
awesome.
started. It's a secret.
You wrote down here
NaNoWriMo,
NaNoWriMo?
National Writing Novel Month. Come on.
It's November.
It's November, okay.
So this episode airs in November.
We're in November right now. Shh, you're
Yeah,
killing,
I mean,
you're killing the brilliance of television.
that's killing the brilliance of television. But, you know, whatever.
Well, you had 6, right? You had 6 at 2:45? Okay. I didn't even know that existed. Cool.
I talked about it all last November.
I don't listen to you. So, this is out now. How does one find it? Are you on Amazon, the normal channels? So what are your, going into, what are their favorite things that you like in the book? Like, we talked about last time, the books you came out with and how you write, but what's your hook? Like, what gets you started?
In terms of anything, or in terms of writing something like that?
Something like this.
Well, in this case, it was kind of like everything I could think of about writing horror. And
Just kind of a mind dump.
Yep, and writing in general too. I mean, people who don't write horror would find a lot in it too. But what I wanted to do was kind of do cover as much as I possibly could. So one of the things I did was I asked almost 100 other writers.
So why do you write horror?
See?
Is the first question in the book.
That's right. And there's the photo. See, that's the picture.
There's
That's how,
pictures.
Yep. When I was little, my dad taught me how to draw the Wolfman like that. I was like 4 years old, so I put that in the book, talking about where I first fell in love with horror and everything. But I interviewed about almost 100 horror writers, because I wanted people to get as many different voices as possible in there. Because one of the things with creative writing teaching is you don't want people just to listen to you. You want them to listen to as many people as possible and learn from them. And I just asked them 2 questions. What makes a really good horror, dark fantasy, or thriller novel story? And what's the one bit of advice you give somebody just starting out?
Well, since this is my show and I'm the host, what makes... Boom, first question back to you.
Oh, what makes a good horror writer? It's about people. Horror happens inside. I tell people, imagine there's a monster wandering around in a field. It's not scary. It's just a thing wandering around in a field. It's only when somebody's there and perceives it and what happens inside them that makes it horror.
Do you find that, either human, some gore is there's not going to be a Sharknado, there's not going to be, you shoot somebody 15 times in the chest and they get back up and put the mask back on and grab the knife. Okay, Do you find that the outlandish for you is fun, or almost humanizing stuff that's almost like the call's coming from inside the house kind of thing?
I like both. I like trying to get the effect of the more humanistic stuff from the weird stuff. It's like a challenge. Can you get people to kind of suspend their disbelief? To think that, Hellraiser's real or whatever. Or Michael Myers, since you're talking about getting shot 15 times and getting back out.
I actually
He's
just...
real.
Huh?
The boogeyman is real.
And you believe in Santa, we've covered this.
I am definitely afraid of Michael Myers.
So when I love that you like these three books, you have a common theme and so forth. So are you gonna jump back into this or dabble in both? moving forward?
I'm primarily still writing fiction. You know, I've had a novel come out right before that one. I've got another one coming out right after it. So, yeah, maybe I might do a book of exercises to accompany this. A lot of writers that have read this book, they like the exercises in it. So I thought, well, maybe a companion book like that might be nice. But no, primarily I just want to keep writing fiction.
So when does moving to the second question you asked, other than writing what flows out of here, and some poetry, I write music, but I don't write horror. What advice would you give to someone like me?
To write about the stuff that only you could write about. You know, just weird, strange things that you might see, things that happen to you in your life, in your childhood. Like, for example, when I was really little, I don't remember which one of us, but my mom said that between me and my sister, one of us was scared of feathers and the other was scared of Band-Aids. And so I've been waiting for years and years to write a story on either one of them. And because who's going to write about feathers as being scary or Band-Aids? So I finally did a feather story. It's going to show up in the magazine called Weird Tales coming up soon, like next couple months or whatever. And I haven't done Band-Aids yet. I'm working on it.
How would you work?
I have no idea. I don't know. My sister found a Band-Aid like in a thing of ice cream once out at a restaurant. So
Oh my God.
maybe I'll do that. Isn't that, see, that gets an immediate reaction, so.
Oh, mine would be masks. As a kid,
Everything's falling apart just like the world.
Well, it's 2020.
That's right, it's
Right.
metaphor.
This is mine would be masks. My sister scared me to death when I was a mask, and then the next thing I watched after that was Phantom of the Opera. So I hate masks, and I became a theater major.
There you go.
So I was on both fronts. I had screwed myself.
And we're wearing masks in COVID. You put those things together, throw in a little bit of like your personal experience in there somewhere, which nobody will ever know it's yours. You just deny it. You write about your life and say, no, I made that up. And you got yourself a good story.
There's a new COVID story instead of, kissing.
Kissing the COVID. By what?
Coronavirus.
Put a pin in
Since
that.
that was a different-
What is your reaction to this?
To
There's a book out.
Yeah.
It's 16 pages.
16, yeah.
It's called
Story.
Kissing the Coronavirus. And a woman who's in a lab, we talked about it on the last episode, that's why I'm bringing it up now. She's in a lab, she falls in love with the coronavirus in a test tube. Her coworker thinks he's found a cure, injects himself with what he thinks is the cure, and he becomes the living embodiment of coronavirus. He's green, he's muscular, Clydesdale, whatever. Meh. And they fall madly in love. Boom, the book ends. 99 cents. Can't keep it
Well,
on the
they don't
shelves.
fall madly.
Can't keep it in store. What are you thinking?
I think somebody had a good idea to make some money. That's
just-
about it.
It
Goddamn
went
ran with
viral. It's not written the best,
Yeah, it's just.
but it did go viral.
Yeah, it's like, there you go. No, it's like a novelty item, and people come up with pet rocks or whatever. I mean, it's something that it only would work now at this time. She's not going to write something like that 10 years from now and anybody care about it.
I mean, that's why I downloaded it, was because I was like, I gotta see how terrible this is.
Yeah, it's out of curiosity.
It's like what? Like you can't look away?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you can't look away?
I can't. I'm staring at them right
can't
now.
look away.
I can't.
But a lot of
It's like the
people
hair
who-
that's out of
who's-
place on your head.
A lot of people who self-publish need to have those kind of hooks, though. There's so many writers out there that one way that people get noticed on Amazon is trying to come up with the craziest kind of premise they can, especially if they're publishing by themselves and they don't have like a big publisher helping them out. So there's a lot of stuff like that immediately, as soon as you see it, it grabs your attention. So
Well, that works. Is she?
It's a she.
Yeah, she
But
hit
there's the
big.
opportunity to publish on Amazon. Like if you go all the way to the bottom, you can publish. Never mind, you don't care.
yeah, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy.
Thank you.
What I want to know is how she came up with that depiction of like a personified virus.
If you look
It's
at the...
you toned it down. It's interesting. It's less fall in love, more fall infatuation.
All she wants to do is have sex with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That it's not like flowers.
She's around test tubes.
Okay.
Use your
That's
imagination. And they don't fall madly. Spoiler alert. It kills her at the end. They don't fall madly.
Well, there go the sales. You've just driven the sales down now.
I said
Well,
spoiler
no
alert.
one reads that
By the
16
time
pages
this
of
airs, no one's gonna
riveting
read that.
Micro banter.
But you know, one of the things that people do with horror is that if there is something super scary, really scary, they try as fast as they can to turn it into something safe. And so it's like, after the movie The Babadook came out and It came out, the Stephen King, the second version of that, on Netflix, somebody accidentally put The Babadook in like gay and lesbian themes, like in their category.
Okay.
And the gay and lesbian community is like, this is awesome. And the Babadook became their mascot. They started drawing pictures of the Babadook and Pennywise, like dating, and at a pride parade.
I
and
love the
everything.
shirt, sort of like, it's like little baby Pennywise and baby Michael Myers and baby Freddy Krueger. And it's like, oh, that's so cute.
Right, and it's one of the things, that's how you know when something's really scary. Because humans will race as fast as they can to defang those things
get on
and
the
make
other
it
side of
safe.
it.
Yep.
Interesting.
So that's another reason. I mean, just psychologically why she probably didn't even realize it, but she was kind of racing to do that probably.
Interesting. Well, the book, Writing in the Dark, out now. Oh, we got 3 for 3. Out now. Tim Wagner, you have stuff coming out, so we'll keep you abreast. Have you back on the show as always.
Well, please do.
Thank you for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to refix the set, and we'll be right back with more Jam City tonight. May I?
Oh, yes.
Sweet.
You're welcome.
Sign the other one, sign that one. Okay. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Jam City tonight. My final guest tonight is not only a fantastic comedian, she's a great friend and an amazing person. Put your hands together for Erica Russell. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. The microphone situation is not at all awkward.
Well, if you can see, we've gone to hell in a handbasket.
We
I was
really have.
promised there'd be handbaskets.
If you're taking off your shoes, I am too.
Thank you. Thank you. See?
It's 2020, all bets are off. I'm not,
Do it. Those are my size, too.
Whatever
I like
works.
those. I like those. So thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
About 10 years now, kind of off and on. I started in Denver, moved to LA, then to St. Louis, and then came back to Cincinnati. So
What got you into comedy?
I was in law school, and I realized I wanted to drop out about halfway through because my favorite part of law school was like writing funny Facebook statuses about my professors during class. Because like the way that law school lecture halls are set up, you could sort of see the laughter, And I was like,
trickle through.
Yeah, I was like, I'm way better at making people laugh than I am at being a lawyer. So I dropped out and did it.
Gotcha. So when you got into it, what were kind of some of your influences?
Maria Bamford, definitely. Huge one. I think mental health issues are such a part of this art.
True. Oh,
And like what she does really helps heal people. And I remember the first time that I saw Maria Bamford, because she was so open about her own struggles, I just thought, if there's a place in the world for this person, there's a place in the world for me.
Right.
And so, that's what I want to do kind of with my comedy.
Nice. I love one of the facts, I've seen you perform a couple times, and I love one of the things Dayton brings is there's so many great female comedians in town. And how do you think comedy, especially in this day and age, because obviously COVID is, shut down all the open mics that we used to do. I mean, we had Don Smith for season 3, and how he's trying to get back to it. What's it like? Are you been doing sets online? Have you been trying to?
Oh yeah, I mean the Zoom open mics are terrible, right? Like
Zoom is
What I'm
terrible,
about
but-
to do is going to be terrible. There's like 4
Oh.
people in this room, 3 people in this room now. Like comedy is an energy exchange. It's a relationship that you have with that audience in that moment. And so when you don't have that relationship, it feels stiff, it feels hard. You're being so vulnerable with your own stories anyway. And then to not get any feedback, I think is really draining on the artist. But that said, it's like, on the Titanic, when it was going down, the band played on. And you know, comics, I think right now are kind of in a similar situation. It's like the world needs to laugh more than it ever has. It's just that nothing is funny.
Trust me, I have no audience. I totally get it. But for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to hand it over to you. So please put your hands together. Erica, the floor is yours.
Where's my mark? Like the backdrop is really cool. It's like the red, white, and black. It's the new America, right?
Right out of the gate.
Woo! Good Lord. Yeah, it's great to be here performing stand-up in front of this no studio audience, gang. This is probably how sport ball players feel in 2020, you know? Sports ball. Good Lord. I picked the wrong year to move back in with my parents at 35, but I don't think there's a right year for that necessarily. They were like, they issued a stay-at-home order, and I was like, well, I'm moving outside. I'm an outdoor cat now. Because, like, I'm 35, and I live with my parents. My brother's 37, and he lives with my parents with his 3 kids and his second wife, because apparently nobody got over their codependency issues in rehab. So I was like, what I'm doing is I'm moving into, like, 2 lawn chairs next to my car. Because, like, that's how I have to work now. And my mom still won't leave me alone. Like, I'll just be sitting in my car working because I'm a writer, and she'll like rap on the window, and she's like, Erica, why do you spend so much time in your parked car if you're not going anywhere? And I was like, it's called a Ford Escape for a reason, Joellen. Oh, we've all made sacrifices. I was supposed to get a breast reduction, and that got canceled because it was scheduled for April, and at that point there was a ban on all elective surgeries. But the way that they told me that was really dumb. Like, because my surgeon's office calls me, and they're like, I'm sorry, Erica, but we have to cancel your breast reduction. We all have to work to flatten the curve. I was like, Joyce, that's a dumb way to tell somebody that their breast reduction got canceled, because the whole point is to flatten the curve, dude. It's been rough. Like, some people, I feel like some people really like took the downtime and did something productive, or they like improved themselves or whatever, you know? Like, you get on Facebook and people are like, I took up quilting. I learned Portuguese. I got prison abs. I'm like, well, I used all this COVID downtime to sit in a lawn chair drinking watered down screwdrivers at noon talking to squirrels. That's what I did. And I gained roughly 22 pounds. Like, it was one thing in May when my jeans didn't fit, but now my towels don't fit. I had to switch to beach. It's been rough. I'm divorced. I seem like I've been divorced, don't I? Like, I dress like a woman who's like a baseball player's first wife, Barbie. Like, that's what I look like. I'm fine with it. People are like, people are saying divorce is hard. Divorce is only hard if you have stuff to lose, dude. Like, my ex-husband and I were living in a Missouri trailer park. Like, my biggest concern in the divorce was not who was going to get our stuff, but who was going to end up with it. I was like, I want to leave this man, but I don't want all this crap. I don't want it. My ex-husband was like, are you going to hire a lawyer? I was like, no, Dane. I'm not going to hire a licensed attorney to divvy up a broken Nordic track and a shoebox full of Mountain Dew points. I'm not going to do that. I went to half of law school before I dropped out to do this. I can handle it myself. I did. I handled my divorce myself. I just like bought a Goodwill skirt suit, layered on my 3 best pairs of jealousy Spanx, and just walked on into that courtroom like, listen, tell him we can never see each other again as long as he signs here. He can have his snowboard back as long as he takes the rest of everything that we have. I have to get out of here. I have a gym to join and new lives to ruin. I got some daddy issues. You don't dress like this unless you have daddy issues. When I moved home, my dad was like, are you going to pay rent? I was like, nope, you break it, you buy it, old man. That's the way that works. Oh. He's trying to like help me out, you know, because I'm not doing so well in life. I don't know if you can tell. And he was like, well, hon, I have an idea. Maybe we should get you a life coach. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be you, Dad. Too dark for everyone. It's like too real. It's too real. All the women in the studio are like, oh, I get it. Anyone ever lived in a trailer park? Any of you guys? You did? Pot guy did? Is he single? I want him. I know, he's CBD. It's CBD, but he wasn't wearing a ring, and I did notice. Yeah, trailer parks are fun. I think my biggest mistake when I moved into the trailer park was thinking that, like, I could be in this human zoo without becoming an exhibit myself. And that is not the way it works, guys. Like, I don't care where you come from. Like, I had come from Beverly Hills. That's right. I went from Beverly Hills to a Missouri trailer park in less than 2 years without a drug problem. And, like, don't get me wrong. I always wanted to live one of those lives where I could say, like, I did it all. But, like, when you go from Beverly Hills to a Missouri trailer park, you're like, I am Forrest Gumping in the wrong direction. And when I got there, like, it didn't take me even 2 months before one day, like, I'm walking down the hallway, because that's all my house is a hallway. And I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, my God, when did I turn into Eminem's mom? Like, I just didn't recognize myself anymore. But you get, like, a lot of really good, interesting stories. You meet a lot of characters in the trailer park. There's always a Bev in the trailer park. There's always a Bev in the trailer park. Like, the reason I moved was because our Bev, she came by one day and she was like, hey, everybody, turns out the creek is radioactive after all. And I was like, what? What are you talking about, Bev? And she's like, yeah, I saw it on John Oliver. They said the creek is radioactive. They were doing a story on nuclear dumping in America, and there was a dot on the map, and we're the dot. We were on the TV. And I was like, Bev, the radioactive creek runs directly beneath my bedroom. That's bad news, Bev. That's bad. But then I'm thinking about it, man, because I'm an optimist, right? And, like, how did Spider-Man get his start? Radioactive? I mean, I had been bitten by a lot of spiders in the trailer park. And Marvel is expanding all the time. They're coming up with new superheroes constantly. And I hope they're ready for Spider Lady. Because any day now, dude, I'm about to morph. I'm going to be Spider Lady. Be like, Spider Lady, can throw a punch, but she's kind of matronly. That's going to do it for me, dude. This is a hard racket. Thank you.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much. We'll be right. What would your costume be?
For Spider Lady? I mean, just like a Spider-Man unitard that shows my gut.
I'd buy that magazine. We'll be right back with more Jam City tonight.
Heiny, tushy, badonkadonk, call it what you want, but talk to your doctor, because the American Cancer Society says colon cancer is a leading cause of cancer deaths in the US. I was diagnosed with colon cancer, but I might have avoided it completely if I just had my keister checked. So get off those juicy doubles and go get your rump shaker screened so you can say you literally saved your own ass. Can we change padonkadonk?
That's our show. I want to thank Tim Waggoner, Eric Russell, Rob McClure. It's been a devastating fight back here. Get back! It's been devastating here. Remember, Dayton, you're not alone.
You never will be.
Thanks, Ricky. To freedom!
Like lame is 2020.
Smells under here for no reason.